you already know me and my murals. So we got this one right here, California Dreaming. You know, it is what it is. And little dude get his little photo op in with the bikes. That's what it's all about, though. So check it out, man. You already know if you got any murals in your city, in your town, man. Holla at your boy, man. I'm coming through and get that snapshot, get that photo op. You know what I mean? And I tell you what, man. I even take you out for lunch. How about that? California Dreaming.
Ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie. It's your boy Retro. Let you know that registration for Mission 448 is open. You can register today and ride the four corners of your state or multiple states. Who's going to be the first to collect the four corners of each of the lower 48 states? Hashtag Who's Got Next. Register today and ride the four corners of your state.
Retro, hashtag press play. It's the Retro Philosophy Show. Let's go!
Kingdom alignment on assignment for the king. Hope you're ready for the show.
Oh, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in.
Let's go for a ride.
Let's go for a ride.
Got my specs on my side. She's my forever bride that keeps hope alive.
I'ma rev it up, so hold on tight.
We about to level up, catch us on the turnpike. From city to city, state to state, coast to coast, man, make no mistake.
We are conquerors,
More than conquerors.
collecting miles and smiles.
Been doing this thing for a while, and all the while winning souls to God. We singing praises to our King. On the hog or on the wing, His praise we always sing, because this is the day that He has made.
Kingdom alignment on assignment for the king. Hope you're ready for the show.
Oh, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in.
Let's go for a ride.
Let's go for a ride.
Got my specs on my side. She's my forever bride that keeps hope alive.
I'ma rev it up, so hold on tight.
We about to level up, catch us on the turnpike. From city to city, state to state, coast to coast, man, make no mistake.
We are conquerors,
More than conquerors.
collecting miles and smiles.
Been doing this thing for a while, and all the while winning souls to God. We singing praises to our King. On the hog or on the wing, His praise we always sing, because this is the day that He has made.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up, everybody, including Lottie Dottie? Make some noise in the building. Hey, man, if you are watching, man, go ahead and say hello in the comment section, and we can go ahead and get this thing cracking. We can go ahead and get this thing popping. We can go ahead and get this thing started. This ain't working. Hey, you know what? Show some love for Lottie Dottie, folks. I mean, show some love for the Retro Philosophy Show and my homegirl, Lottie Dottie. You already know what it is, man. Show some love. You can also send stars and all that good stuff. We would really, really appreciate it if you were to do that. Okay, enough of that. We got a lot of things to do. One of the first things that's coming across my mind right now as we speak, as far as what's not working, is Ruby Red. Man, listen to me. When I tell you I need Ruby Red on the road, I think I might have a solution here in the very near future. I'm gonna try to work something out in the next couple of days to at least get things going. See, ones, what's going on, man? Good morning to you, man. So hashtag free Ruby Red. Okay, enough of that. I digress. Yo, this ain't working, man. This ain't working. This ain't how it's supposed to be. This ain't how I thought it would go. This ain't working. What do we do, ladies and gentlemen, when it's not working? Well, number one, you got to make up in your mind that you ain't gonna give up. Well, Retro, I feel like giving up. You know what? I do too sometimes. I really do. Um, but what we feel and what we allow to be an option is a whole nother conversation. There are some things that, regardless of how you feel, you must, oh, I can't stress it enough, you must remove it from the table in terms of being an option. Now, let's talk about this whole not working thing. Because if you've ever been in service of any kind, You have customers, you have clients, you have, whatever the case may be, and they will come and they will declare and they will decree that this thing ain't working. Y'all sold me a bad product, and and I'm gonna sue you. I got a lawyer on retainer. Oh boy, here we go. And they just go in, and they just going in, right? And then you take the item, and you do this, you do this, that, and boom, there it is. It's working. So what you realize is it was operator error. I want you to be very careful what you deem not working, what you deem out of order. I'm staying here at this hotel, and the ice machine is not too far from my room. Um, However, there's a sign that says out of order. Hmm. You come out of that room and you go to the elevator, get ready to go downstairs, and there's a sign on the elevator that says out of order. Please use, and it directs you to another elevator. So a lot of times, excuse me, guys, a lot of times people will put a sign on it saying out of order, not working, broken, whatever the case may be. But the real issue is not whether or not it's broken, but one's inability to fix what needs to be fixed. Sometimes it's not so, it might be out of order, but not necessarily broken. Sometimes things get out of what? Alignment. Sometimes things get out of alignment. And it would have never got out of alignment had you not banished a certain individual that played a certain role in your life. What I'm saying is, we have, let's just say, friends. And I believe every friend plays a particular role in your life. Let me just say this, by the way. Not even friends show up just to show up. Even they are intentional. God, see, God has a perfect design. But what do? We usually cleave to certain friends more than other friends. That's my, I mean, we cool, but I don't really care too much. Like yesterday we talked about, I don't like 'em, and the reason is because they always challenge you. They always present something that stretches you, something that holds you accountable. And being held accountable and being stretched and those things like that, they help keep things in proper alignment. You say, well, how can being stretched keep you in alignment? Because as you grow, you ought to expand. As you grow, you ought to, you know. And so when we begin to refuse, restrict, and turn away those kinds of things, we may find ourselves sooner or later out of order. It's not that you're broken, you're just out of order. You need an adjustment, you need to be brought back into alignment. Right now there's somebody contemplating something horrendous, something, evil, something, demented, something deranged. But I promise you, they came from a good place once upon a time. It's just that they might have been like Lottie Dottie, mishandled, dropped, abused, pushed aside, overlooked, etc., etc. And what happens after these things begin to happen, especially when they happen consecutively, consistently, over and over, it's not that the individual is broken. They just need to write somebody that can reach them, that can see them. Have you ever, as a matter of fact, I was watching Shaquilla Bussey's live last night. I caught the replay, hashtag the replay gang. And she shared what someone said to her. They said to her, they said, Shakila, I like it how you always make people feel to be seen. That's a gift. That's a power. That's a blessing. It takes a special anointing. Have you ever been made to feel like you were seen? Sometimes we go through life and sometimes we're in the room or in a room full of people, yet still we feel invisible. I don't know if you've ever been there, but I have. I've been to that point. I've been at that place where
No matter what I did, I felt invisible. Nobody saw me, especially as I was going to say maneuvering, but the more accurate way to describe it, it would be falling. As I was falling in this season of darkness, I was in a dark place, and I wasn't maneuvering. I was simply falling. I was still operating and performing and producing and doing, what was expected of me. And but nobody saw me falling in darkness, in a dark place, depressed, stressed, more depressed and stressed. And so often you are in these kind of places and spaces and no one sees you. I wasn't necessarily broken because again, I was still able to produce. I was still able to get up and say, yo, what's up, everybody, including Lottie Dottie. I was still able to get up and say, God is good all the time, and all the time He's good. I was still able to get up and declare, this is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. And when you think about the word rejoice, it simply means to be joyous again. And so the goodness of God is that no matter where you are, you can get back to a place where you can be joyous. But for me, in that season of my life, I get up, I do what I do, and I feel the joy of the Lord. And then before you know it, something hits me again, and I'm back in this dark place where I'm, depressed. And it was a vicious, ugly roller coaster. Yeah, and so I wasn't broken, but I was out of order. Whoo, I don't ever want to go back to that place because, the psalmist said there is but one step between me and death. And when I was in that place, every day I was scared that something would happen that would push me to the point of no return. Every day. I mean, every day. That was my fear because I was so close to the edge. I was so close to just grabbing a Negro by the esophagus, and I digress. Sometimes we benefit from the things people create, the things that they produce, the things that they offer, and the things that they provide. But in the midst of taking, we fail to see them. And so we talk about. I'm not crying, y'all. I'm just it's my eyes here. Uh, I got my new glasses and I got the little tinted prescription, so I'm not trying to be cool with shades on in the house and stuff. But anyway, um, sometimes we think things are broken and they're not broken, they're just out of order. Let me see if I can bring a little more definition to this, a little more clarity, a little bit more insight. When I say broken, you're now at the place where you can no longer perform. You've got the ice maker, for instance, right? Um, if it's broken, it's not, it cannot produce ice. If it's if it's out of order, it might not be producing to its proper specs. It may produce ice and then spit out crushed ice and then cubed ice and then crushed ice. And so it's out of order. It's not broken because technically it's still producing ice, but it's out of order because it's not flowing the way it's supposed to flow. So there's a difference between being out of order and being broken. Okay. Um, However, when something is out of order, it could be indicative of it getting ready to break. And so you want to stop it before it actually breaks because it could just be a slight adjustment that needs to be done before a costly repair. Okay. And so that's something that we have to understand. We've got to start looking for the signs. And even if we're not looking for the signs, we ought to at least be able to acknowledge the signs. I don't know if I would agree that anything breaks without showing some sign.
Said, nah, bro, preacher. I was going down the road and my engine just broke. I mean, it didn't give no signs. Well, I don't know if that's 100% true. And ask me how I know. Because I've been in some of y'all car. Y'all put the black tape over the check engine light, like as if covering up the sign is going to prevent it from breaking. Just because you no longer can see the sign doesn't mean your vehicle is not in danger. I'm saying vehicle, but let's talk about your life. You no longer have the passion that you once had for the things you were once passionate for. That's a sign. Not a sign that you need to change careers necessarily, but you might need to adjust something in your life. See, that's the problem. When we begin to see signs, we read them wrong. I'm not calling you illiterate or nothing, but some of y'all are real bad at reading signs. As soon as the signs start showing up, you talk about, you know what, man, I got to get out of here, man. My season is up. I got to move on. I done outgrew these folk. No, you didn't. No, you ain't even begin to see any growth yet. Um, but you cannot jump from area to area in an attempt to run from the responsibility of facing the music and dealing with the issues head on. So let's get back to what I was saying initially. Is it broken? Is it out of order? Or is it user error? I've done this before, you know, and they bring the item in, they bring it in and they say, you know, this thing is broken. You guys sold me a defective product. And then I just sit there and I go and I do and boom, bada boom, bada bang, there you go. But you know what I do then? I then educate them on how to properly use the device, how to properly use the item. User error. There are so many times where we get rid of things because they don't work. Sometimes all you need to do is read the manual, and you will find some things out about the product that you overlooked to begin with because all you saw was the picture. And from the picture, you drew a certain conclusion based on your own experience, delusion, or whatever the case may be. And I know I'm a guy, and I usually don't like to read the manuals. Just I look at it and I'm putting this thing together. I figure this out. But every now and then you get stuck because the picture doesn't explain everything. All it does is give you an image, but not necessarily information. See, the information that you draw from a picture comes from here, but the instructions sometimes gives you way more information than you have right here. Guess who wrote those instructions? The manufacturer. Guess who the manufacturer is? The one who made the item. And they know it through and through. They've tested it, they've tried it, and they've proven it. And in that instruction manual, man, if you read the manual, man, you will do well. That was real cheesy, but James Grunt, what's going on, man? Good morning to you, man. Good to see you on this morning, man. Hope all is well with you and yours. You up there in the DMV area, man? What's your temperature up that way? I don't know if I want to know, to be honest with you. My son texted me this morning. He said, "Pops, is cold," and so we are dealing with frigid temperatures. So the manual, read it and you will do well. In the manual, there's information about the product uh, that you need to know. In the manual, it tells you how to care for it, how to service it, how to deal with it when you're not using it. You know what I mean? And so anyway, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, this ain't working. This ain't working. It might not be it might not be working the way you suppose, but that doesn't mean it's not working. Hmm. You're going through tribulation, and you said, Pastor, this ain't working. And I look at you and I say, oh, it's working, just not the way you suppose. Because tribulation worketh. Yeah, tribulation work. That's what the scripture says. Tribulation worketh patience. Patience experience. Experience hope. And hope maketh not ashamed. If you unpack that verse, man, I mean, there's so much in it. There's so much in it. So before you determine that this thing is not working, whatever your thing is, there's some things you need to consider. Okay. Maybe your perception needs to be adjusted. Yeah, maybe it needs to be adjusted. See, my concern is that we are throwing things away because they're not working the way we think they should work, but they're working the way they're supposed to work. In everything, give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning us. So please, brothers and sisters, and I'm gonna leave you alone. I'm gonna open up for some questions if you got any questions. But please know and understand it might be bad, but just because it's bad doesn't mean it's not working for you. You know how many bad things happened to me in life and it worked for my good? I'm sitting here trying to force it to go one way and it wasn't going that way. And usually, you gonna give before it does. That's why tribulation worketh what? Patience. And the Bible says you have need of patience. Some of us are we're too much in a hurry. We want it overnight, microwave generation. I want it right now. But sometimes God is saying, be patient. The songwriter said, please be patient with me. God is not through with me yet. Be patient. Why we want stuff so fast? You know. So it's working for you. Just be patient. Apostle Leo Lewis, he's a gem to the body of Christ. And when I was a young saint, he would come back to our home church and he would, visit pretty frequently. And I would just be like a sponge at work, man, just really absorbing everything he was putting down. And it's just a really God just used him so much in my life, especially in my formative years of salvation. So I observed a lot of, or observed and absorbed so many nuggets and so much wisdom from that man of God. Talking about patience, and he said something one time that stuck with me forever. And what he said was, God may not pay on Friday, but he always pays on payday. Somebody just type amen in the comment section. I'm just saying. So, see, we sometimes see James getting his paycheck on Friday, and we automatically assume that, okay, Friday is his payday. But you got to wait till Wednesday. Don't ask me why it's that way. God knows what he's doing. See, here's another thing. You don't get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate. Where do we negotiate? We negotiate in prayer. Prayer is our negotiating tool. Yeah, prayer is our negotiating tool. And so if you didn't do any negotiating, then you get what you get. Scripture says, come, let us reason together. Come, let us negotiate. And God is a God that will allow us to come and reason with him. And if you don't believe me, you can ask Abram or Abraham. Because God told Abraham, look, sir, I'm going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah and all the cities round about it. And Abraham, being the man that he was, man of concern and compassion and things of that nature. He remembers, hey, I've got a nephew down there, God. He says, what if I find 50 righteous people? Would you spare the city? God says, okay, go ahead and go see if you can find them. He comes back, couldn't find 50 righteous people. And so we see a negotiation ensuing between Abraham and God. Now, I want you to think about where you are in life and what you're going through and how it makes you feel and this, that, and the other. And now I want you to ask yourself, have you negotiated with God? Have you went to God and had a conversation saying, hey, look, God, I don't like the way this is going. Can we change this? And if I do this, can this, another example we have is Gideon, because God told Gideon, I want you to go out and I want you to go into battle on my behalf. And Gideon is like, I don't know, God, that's, you know, and so he puts to God what we call a fleece. And he says, look, Lord, if this is you and this is what you want me to do, and I'm paraphrasing, when I wake up in the morning, let the fleece of the sheep be wet and the ground be dry. And so Gideon wakes up the next morning and it was so. The fleece of the animals was wet, the fur was wet, the ground was dry. So he says, okay, God, can I talk to you for a minute? God, hold on, one more. Let's do this again. Let's do it different though this time. Tomorrow, let them be dry and the ground be wet. And he wakes up the next morning and it was so. So now Gideon realizes a few things here. Number one, God is a God that answers prayer. God is a God that will allow negotiation. But most important, God is a God that hears my prayers. He can't answer what he doesn't hear. Well, technically he can, but you see what I'm getting at here, right? I promise you, don't think this strange, but you can get to a place in God where he will answer your prayers before you even utter them off your mouth. Scripture tells us he will give us the desires of our heart. So before you even verbalize it, if you're in a place with God, and there is a place you can get to in God where you don't even have to verbalize it, you can just imagine it in your heart, and God says, oh, yeah, here you go, son. He will give you the desires of your heart if you walk uprightly before him. Walk uprightly before him. Do the right thing and uphold the right thing, model the right thing, inspire the right thing, so on and so forth. Some people are doing the right thing, but they're doing it the wrong way. I'm so tired of all these, I was going to say cussing preachers, but it's so much further than just cussing. It's just the profanity and it's just, okay, let me move on. Let me move on. I think it's disgusting to try and describe the goodness of God, the power of God, the isness of God with profanity. If you're going to preach, preach, or just shut up. We don't need to be out here talking about we are spokesperson for God and we are just as nasty, filthy, and vulgar. And, I know sometimes I'll say some things, but come on now, let's reel it in. Let's reel it in here. Let's see here. Shakila, good morning, young lady. How are you doing on today? And how cold is it where you are? God, it's like my phone listening to my thoughts and what I thought appeared. Come on now. Ain't that something? Boy, I tell you, man, I dare y'all to try it right now. Just start talking about something for a little bit and see if it don't manifest in your timeline at some point throughout the day. Shakila, and I know that you know this, and I know that you know this well. He is the silent listener in every conversation. He knows our thoughts, from afar off. So before you even think you thought it, he already knew it. He already knew it. Which is why we have to understand it's not broken, it's just user error. Jesus looked at Judas and he does not rebuke him at all. He rebuked Peter. Well, technically, he didn't rebuke Peter. He rebuked the devil that was using Peter or trying to move through Peter. But he does not rebuke Judas, even though he knew that Judas was going to betray him. What does he do to Judas? He says, whatever you do it quickly. Do what you're going to do because I'm going to be God. I mean, I is God. I'm going to be God. And so we must understand and know that even when the Judases show up and the Sanballats and Tobiases and the Absalons, when they show up, don't lose it because they all on daddy's payroll. And I'm the ear to this whole thing because I'm his son, rightfully so. You understand what I'm saying? So it ain't broke. It may not be producing the way it once did, but even that is a opportunity for us to learn the importance of proper what? Somebody put it in the comment section. It's an opportunity for us to learn the importance of proper maintenance. Look how much stuff God has given us and trusted us with. And we act like it's just going to last forever. And in some cases it may. But my point is, it must be maintained. It must be, serviced. Picture someone giving you a brand new CVO. I was over at the dealership yesterday. Boy, they had this sweet CVO. Boy, I tell you, if I had Shaquilla Busted money, I'd have rode it home. I'm just trying to tell you. If I had C1's money, James Grunt money, boy, I'd have bought two of them if I had James Grunt money. But since I got retro money, I just had to look at it, admire it, and get on out the way. But imagine somebody giving you a brand new free CVO. And you just out there just riding and riding and revving and riding, revving and riding, revving and riding. Ain't did now maintenance on it. Ain't changed no oil, ain't do no brake flush, and you out there just putting miles on it. That's just out there flossing and dossing, and the thing just tear up. And then you turn around and complain that they gave you a piece of junk. How you gonna bless somebody and it's toe up the next, bro? The least you could have done was maintained it. Let somebody give me a free CVO or something like that. It don't you don't even got to give me a CVO. Just give me a CV, or VO. I'm saying, brand new bike. Oh, that thing gonna stay clean. I mean, we gonna keep it wiped down. I'm gonna pull over every 15 miles and just wipe it down. I'm gonna have a bug alert on. As soon as a bug hit it, I'm pulling on wipe that bug off because I'm grateful. I'm appreciative, and I'm gonna make sure I maintain it. Because guess what? I couldn't afford it. I couldn't have bought it on my own. So since I was blessed, I'm gonna make sure I bless the blessing. Yeah, by maintaining it. There are some things that God has given you, and the way to maintain it is to abstain from certain things, certain people, certain places. But no, where you at? You right back there like you were in day one. Now you're looking like Chris Rock on New Jack City. Lips all wide again, talking about give me two for 30. No daggone well, he brought you out to keep you out. So, ladies and gentlemen, if it's not working, check your maintenance records and see when was the last time you brung it in for a fluid flush. You know, well, they gave me the bike. They could at least provided the maintenance. Bro, are you really serious right now? I'll run you over with that bike. You keep talking like that. They blessed you with it. The least you can do is keep it up. Sheila says, I basically ride in a free road glide and I make sure It's maintained even though it's not mine. Come on now. I mean, that was such a beautiful gesture, and it's the least we could do. You know, I let you use my car, and you're gonna come back to me every 2 days talking about, man, I need some gas money, man. This car bad on gas. Boy, give me the gas can so I can smack you upside the head with it. That's what we gonna do. Cause you must be smoking that gas to be sitting here talking about give me some gas money for a car that I'm giving you to ride for free. And so, Shakila, that is so uh, the right thing to do. I mean, I'm saying. So, yeah. As a matter of fact, you let me borrow your booster. My goal is to take care of it better than you did. Because I'll be doggone if I bring it back. You'd be like, Retro, tow my bike up. The devil is alive. It ain't going to be said, So I'm that kind of dude. Some people, you lend them your stuff and they're going to ride it like they stole it. Not me. I'm going to ride it, drive it like I'm paying for it. Because I ain't trying to break. Now, my stuff, I tear my stuff up. But I'm not going to tear your stuff up. I'm not going to ride your bike the way I ride my bike. Mm-mm. No, no, it's not going to happen. So, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, um, this thing ain't working. Oh, it's working. Just not the way you suppose. Just not the way you suppose. Some of us, we've been used to things being handed to us, given to us, entitled. And God is now bringing you through a season where you got to learn a few things the good old fashioned way. You have got to learn to trust him in this process. Because see, you used to trust in your money, your resources, your peeps, your this, your that, your clout, your platform, whatever the case may be. But God is saying now, you got to learn to trust in me. hmm So it's working, just not the way you're used to it working. And if you'd have read the manual, you would have known this. If you would have read the manual, you'd have known that this day was going to come. See, some of us, we are living in the now, and we're not living for the future. And I'm not even that kind of dude that's always trying to put everything away for a rainy day, and but you've got to have some kind of forethought. You cannot be oblivious to what could, what might, and in some cases, will. So you've got to live today in such a way you'll be ready for tomorrow. I don't think we should ever live today in a way that when tomorrow gets here, we wasn't ready for the transition. Okay. Um, Lavish, what's going on, Mr. Police Commissioner? I believe it is. I know he's just newly elected to a particular position. Congratulations to you, sir, and thank you for pressing play. Ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Laddie Dottie, we got my homeboy Lavish T. Williams in the building. Hey, Natalie, how you doing? Yes, birthday boy in the building. I guess I can still celebrate for a few more days, right? The 13th was my day. And I tell you, 50 feels good. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm trying to see which other birthday had the biggest effect. What birthday had the biggest effect for you guys? What year was it? What birthday was it? Was it your 16th? Um, of course, 16 was, because 16 is just, I don't know, it just seemed like that's a number, but um and then there's 21. My 21 was a different 21. So I don't think my 21 meant the same as it would have once upon a time. I'm going to go out on a limb and say my 50th birthday was probably the most impactful birthdays. And I'm not talking about the activities, but the mere fact that I'm 50, y'all. Dang, when did that happen? I don't even know. Let's see here. Bring it back better than you've received it. Yeah, my mama years ago used to never have a problem lending me her car. That part, C ones. because you knew if you didn't take care of it, you wasn't gonna get it again. And that's what some of us need to know and understand. This might be your last opportunity to determine whether or not you'll be able to get that blessing again. Does that make sense to anybody? Be prepared for tomorrow while you live your blessed life today. Yeah, I'm living my blessed life. They're living their best life. I'm living my blessed life. And there's a difference, ladies and gentlemen, because your best ain't good enough and it will never compare to his blessed. So I'm living my blessed life. Ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, we got the one and only, the virtual deacon in the building in the person of the one and only Thorough Verb. What's going on, my dog? Hope all is well with you and yours. Alabama, we coming your way. March of 2026 is going down, or I should say it's going through. Yeah, it's going through Alabama, the four corners of Alabama, Mission 448 style. We're looking to get at least 100 riders to join us on this Four Corners run. So we'll be talking a whole lot more about that in the very near future. Hashtag who got next? I hope it's you. Let's see here. Police commissioner. And yes, I take office in January. Yo, January, send me the info, man. I ain't lying to you, man. I might have to come on up there to Detroit. And because that's a power move, man. I'm gonna give you a call, Lavish. We want chit chat. We want chit chat with you, man. Um, because yeah, I got some questions. I got some questions, bro, and in a good sense, in a very um, celebratory sense. So I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you, man, and I know that your peeps are as well. I do know that that was not your first attempt, and my question, as it relates to what we're talking about this morning, let me see something here. Bada boom, bada bang. Y'all bear with me one quick moment. Lavish, you available, man, to hop on, bro? That'd be cool. I know you a busy man and everything. You either out there towing trucks or commissioning the police. So I mean, so I know you busy and all. But I'm gonna send this to you anyway, real quick, just in case you are available. Bada boom, bada bang. All right, Lavish, I'm sending you this link, bro, just in case you are available and can hop on real quick for a hot minute. Uh, then that'd be cool. And if not, I completely understand. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I want the exclusive, bro. So I want to get you on the Retro Philosophy Show. I want the exclusive. Can I get the exclusive before you go anywhere else? I want to talk to you right here on the Retro Philosophy Show. Let me know if we can make that happen. Um, so, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, it was not his first run, and I'm sure because I've gone for things and didn't get it the first time, regardless of. Okay, okay, my man, 50 grand. Let me see what we got here. Ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, let's welcome to the Retro Philosophy Show, the one and only Mr. Lavish T. Williams in the building. What's going on, sir? How you
What's
doing?
happening, man? I'm good. I'm good. What's going on, everybody?
Man, I tell you, look at God. Ain't God good? Let me see if I can get this thing right. See, normally I'm in the studio, bro.
Yeah.
And let me see here. There we go. There we go. Normally I'm in the studio, so I'm mobile today, and I don't even really use Restream like I used to. Normally I'm on Ecamm, as I think you
Right,
probably
right,
are.
right.
So talk to me real quick, Lavish man. Why police commissioner, and why not just quit after the first time it didn't go the way you wanted it to go?
Man, let me tell you, man. Let me start off from the top, man. This is not something that
Okay.
I even envisioned doing ever in life. Um,
Hmm.
we had people around me making jokes once upon a time. Oh man, you the mayor of the
Yeah.
city, man. You running the city, blah blah blah. But that was in regards to a lot of the biker stuff that I was doing, and some of
Got
the
you.
community work that I was doing within the circle of friends and associates that I was hanging around. Now, what happened? I got invited to a police commissioner's meeting for unrelated stuff. Um,
Okay.
and the chief at the time wanted me to introduce myself to the board as I was planning one of my first car show. And they wanted me to kind of like be the liaison between the streets and the police department. But sitting in that
Mm-hmm.
meeting, I'm listening to all the different things, problems, issues that's going on, and I'm like, oh wow, I know all this stuff happened. And the guy, before I started to elevate, used to always tell me, man, you got to go down here to these commissioner meetings. You got to listen to what's going on. You got to be involved. You got to know what's going on. This is going to help your business. This is going to help you elevate. You gotta know. And I wasn't at that time. I wasn't mature enough to really understand the importance of it. So
Mm-hmm.
once I started going to these meetings and I got in there and I started listening to the issues and the problems, that voice of mine was being heard by people. And
Okay.
like, man, you know what, man, you should run for this stuff. You should be the police commissioner. And I'm like, no, I don't do that. That's it's not my lane. So the first election happened and I did not follow through, didn't know how to follow through. But within those 4 years, I'm paying attention and I'm following the people and I'm listening to the people and I'm coming to these meetings and I'm like, oh wow, okay, well, this is the setup for the first election that I ran. And I didn't get it.
Okay.
What made me run again was for me to come from being this tow truck driver, the guy who has the car wash that do all these car shows and motorcycle parties, for me to run and get the support that I got first time around, no political background, no political anything against a heavy hitter, a heavy
Mm-hmm.
hitter. And let me say this, my district, because I ran a district race, 7 districts in the city of Detroit. I live in District
Okay.
2. District 2 is the highest voting district in the city, the highest out of all of the other. Listen, I got 19,000 votes for the position that I ran. There's other districts for the same position that barely got 4,000 votes. So I'm just throwing that out there to give you an idea of how many voters are in District 2. And they're serious voters. They keep up with everything that's going on. We got doctors, lawyers, we got private golf course, mansions in that area. I don't live in that area, but it's still in my district.
Yeah.
So I'm saying all that to say how important it was for me to run again based off of the support that I got. Now it was times in between the 4 years that I did not win that I did not think I was going to run again because I spent a lot of money. I spent a lot
Yeah.
of money out of my pocket,
Yeah.
saying to myself, "Hey, I'm going to get it. It's a shoe in. I'm a shoe in. Blah blah blah." My name just didn't carry a lot of weight
Can
in
I ask
that
you
type
something
of
real
circle.
quick?
Yeah,
So, would you agree or would you say that your failure contributed to your success?
it did. It
How
did.
so?
One, I don't like to lose. So
Okay.
sometimes it's a challenge within yourself, not
Mm,
anybody else. And I say within yourself for me is because some people do it to prove a point to someone else,
right.
whereas I did it to prove a point to myself and then go out and show everyone else I ain't give up even when they thought I should. Because a lot of people around me asked, why are you going to do that again?
Hmm.
Why not? I mean, I didn't win the first time, but when you play a game, a basketball or football game, when you
Yeah.
lose, do you stop playing? So I kept going because I looked at all the people that supported me,
Hmm.
the 30% of the votes that I got.
Yeah.
I looked at those people
That's big.
and I said, you know what? This is my first time running an election. Again,
Yeah.
these people don't know me on the political side of anything. I'm out here. I'm going to take that 30% and I'm going to turn that 30% into another 30, 40%. And I
Hmm.
did everything all throughout the term, all throughout that 4 year term that I did not win and get in office.
Okay.
I did everything. I was at these events. I was at these community meetings. I was still out here pushing my name, pushing my brand, letting it be known, hey, I want to do it again. I want to do it again. I
Hmm.
want to run again. And what happened? things work out for a reason. The
Yeah.
lady that I was running against, I guess she got so relaxed that she didn't keep up her end, and she didn't do
Mm,
her stuff, the stuff that she was supposed to do, and she got
hey,
kicked off the ballot, man.
wow.
It was
Wow.
divine
You got
intervention,
to be
man.
hungry. You got to stay hungry.
Yeah,
Got to stay
and
hungry.
with me being on the ballot, um, with some other write-ins,
Hmm.
I'm the only name on there, and but I had write-ins, and she was one of them. No one seen anybody out there but me
I saw
because
you
I
out
was
there too, doing
destined.
pushing your thing, man.
Yeah,
I,
I
yeah,
was destined, man.
you did it in a very smooth way, man. I liked the way you did it, and I want to say a couple things. Now, you said that you were known for, the cars, the bikes, so the streets knew your name.
Correct.
Your people knew you.
Right.
Which one of those voices was more important? Which one of those voices were the loudest as you were doing your thing to get into this position?
I want to say both of them,
Both of
both
them.
combined because they kind of intertwine with each other.
Okay.
A lot of people now they want to see realness. They want to
Mm-hmm.
see a genuine person. I know that we grew up in the time when we used to go to school and you seen politics and you had to be like this super polished individual.
Mm-hmm.
But
Not
now we
anymore.
see that not anymore. You don't have to be this super polished individual. People want to see that super genuine
Right.
individual. We
They want
want to
somebody they
know,
can relate to.
correct. We want to know, hey, this person is really human. This person is not perfect,
Right.
this person is a great person because we watched and we seen the things that he's done away from the camera, away from the photo ops. So when you take the cars and the motorcycles, you got that crowd of people that I'm bringing together for a good time, and they're having fun, they're enjoying themselves. I'm bringing people among each other to have a great time. But then on the community side, I'm doing food distributions, giving back to the community. I'm out with other nonprofits and I'm helping them. And those two worlds collide into each other because you have people over here speaking on lavish. Oh, he was out here on the internet giving out free turkeys and
Mm-hmm.
passing out food. And then you got the bikers and the car guys and girls over here like, yeah, I know lavish. I rock with lavish, blah, blah, blah. Oh, wow, small world. And
Mm-hmm.
those are the people that's in the streets that's pushing you and your brand when you're not around, when you're not listening, because they're saying I rock with him. That
Okay.
guy, man, he does this, he does that, man. If I call him, he's gonna be there. He's always about his business. He don't be in any trouble. He's not in any drama. That's a good guy. So a lot of those people, voices push and help me, as well as the actual community that I ran for. Because I was at those block club meetings, I was at those police community meetings, I was at
Mm-hmm.
those engagements, I was listening, I was speaking, I was talking, I was letting them know, hey, I'm here. And the other people that tried to run for that same position, they just wasn't hungry. They wasn't
Mm-hmm.
hungry, and it was just time for a new change. Sometimes we're used to seeing a certain age group in these positions,
Right.
but we got to get the younger people in here while we still have that
Yeah.
older age group still around, because we might have to pick up that phone and get their information, get their knowledge, help us navigate us to grow to where you have been before. A lot of times you get a lot of people that want to hold certain seats and positions until
Right.
they can't hold them anymore. And you got the new people that's in the seats, and they're still trying to navigate everything,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't really have the guidance that they really need to really navigate certain situations. So I
I
feel
think
like, huh?
I think that speaks volumes to your character, as well as your wisdom, because the Bible says He called the young because they're strong and the old because they know the way.
Right.
And when we can get to the point where there is a meshing between the old and the young, then we will really be on to something powerful. With that said and done, who are your mentors for the direction that you're going? Do you, I don't know if you really want to name them and ever, but do you have mentors for where you're trying to get to?
This is probably, um to answer your questions properly, and direct as possible, man. The only mentor that I can really speak on and say that I have as a mentor would have been my grandfather.
Mm.
You know, and he was my mentor because I watched him be a man, you know. So watching my grandfather and the way that he raised me, and keep in mind, you know, people might not know this. My mother had a stroke while in labor with me, and it
Wow.
left her paralyzed. It left my mother paralyzed. And my grandparents, they had to intervene to assist with raising me, as well as re-raising my mother. They had to learn how to
Mm.
read, write, talk all over again. So my grandfather, you know, he was that role model. He was that person that I looked up to. Now, outside of that, people that I admired and I watched, man, it was not the coolest people. I don't have names directly. We get so caught up in what's
Come on now.
cool.
Come on now.
You know, we got to go with the cool guy. Oh man, that's the cool guy over there, man. And not really understanding or realizing that sometimes the coolest guy is the
Mm.
quiet guy that's
Hmm.
behind the cool guy.
Yep. Yep.
And I kind of molded myself to be the cooler guy that's behind the cool guy. I don't need the attention. I've seen what attention does to people. I've seen how you get a lot of unwanted attention by attention. I've seen how sometimes everything that people see is not always reality. And
Yeah.
I watched, you know, different people move a certain type of way, and I respected their movement
Hmm.
a lot better than the loud people in the crowd. The loud people in the crowd,
Hmm.
they look cool and everything like that. When we talk about famous people that I like, you know, um their movement, I look at I look at two people that come to mind, man, and that's Master P and Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay.
Those two people, you know, I really like and follow everything that they have done. And the reason for it, in case people want to know why, um, I look at Master P as Master P say, "Hey, I'm the greatest hustler alive." Out
Hmm.
here, when I first started towing, I mimicked everything that he did for a record label for my towing company.
Wow.
I mimicked everything. I was the first one in the city. This is not me blowing my head up. I was
Hey,
the
talk about it,
first
bro.
one in my city towing to
Hmm.
start putting up towing billboards and painting towing advertisement around the city.
Hmm.
No one was, this was 2008. No one was doing this. People were like, what are you going to do that for? What are you doing that for? It was just me, one truck. And the advertisement that I had throughout the city, people swore up and down. It was 5 trucks. My hustle was just so hard that,
Hmm.
listen, retro, you will see me on one side of town
Yep.
and you might drive to the other side of town
And see you there.
and you'll see me there, but your mind is
That's
is
one of his
is
other
not.
trucks.
Yeah, that's, oh man, he got a truck over here. No, I'm just here, I'm there, I don't have time to wait. So a lot of the hustle came as far as marketing and advertisement from the way Master P was moving. I was in clubs and bars downtown Detroit. People that knew me back then, security, bouncers, police that patrolled the area. I was in the tow truck with my Letterman lavish jacket on,
Uh-huh.
jumping out with flyers,
Yeah.
going into the bars and going into the clubs as if I was a party promoter and I was passing out business cards and flyers, towing
Yeah.
advertisement.
Yeah.
And they're like, man, what you doing all that for? Man, people thought I was a club promoter. I'm like, no, man, I got
Yeah.
a tow truck that's parked outside.
Yeah.
And they like, man, what's the purpose of that? And I said, well, this is my logic. The club is closing at 2 o'clock.
Hmm.
Between 1:15 and 1:45, that's my prime time to hit all of these clubs and bars in this area.
Hmm.
Because of my mind, I got at least one or two people
Yeah.
that's going to lock their keys in the car
Hmm.
or that's too intoxicated to drive.
Mm-hmm.
And one of their friends are going to need to get this car to a location or the doors open. So I circled
Mm-hmm.
that whole area to the point where the police knew, hey man, this tow truck is going to be, he's going to be passing by soon. At some point, he's going to be passing by, to the point where they knew to flag me down. Hey, there's a guy over here. He got a Ford Explorer. You need a lockout. He's over on this street,
Yeah.
you know. And I just advertised that. I got on the internet and I was talking trash, lavish this, lavish that, lavish towing, lavish this. We towing cars, we doing this. Who is lavish, man? Who is this lavish dude? Then the other tow companies, I used to put them on the spot. They didn't like that
Mm-hmm.
because they give, you know, little
Yeah.
guys a hard time, to the point where they
Uh-huh.
respected me. Where when I came to their place of business, their yards, hey, just let him
Yeah.
do what he want to do. This before the whole social media thing. I just regret that I didn't take advantage of social media today,
Yeah.
you know, back then, you know, because it was
Yeah.
different then compared to now. I probably would have been through the roof, making a lot of money
Yeah.
from the internet. So I did a lot of that kind of stuff. And I stayed moving. Now, when I talk about Shaquille O'Neal, when I talk about Shaq, you know, the interesting thing about Shaq that I like, man, that I model, Shaq is a businessman. He's an athlete.
Mm-hmm.
He's a family guy, and he has a lot of different things going on. But one thing that you never really hear Shaq do, you never hear him bragging about anything. You never hear Shaq
Right.
bragging about, I got this, I got that, I got this, I'm doing this. He will talk about it in interviews if asked. When you
Mm-hmm.
see Shaq go out, man, he goes out to Walmart, he goes places, and he just randomly pays for people things. He doesn't advertise it. Other people advertise it and put it out
Right.
there.
Right.
But
Right.
at the same time, Shaq still has nice cars. He has nice belongings. He lives a nice life, but then he's human. He's relatable.
Mm-hmm.
He laughs. He jokes. He gets on the internet. He does his dances and his different videos. He shows that, hey, I'm not too good for this. So those are the two
Right.
people that I kind of admire and look up to. I don't know them personally, never met them, but I admire their work, Master P and Shaq, because of what they did. You know, you got Master P, he's just always going, man, you know, record label, movies, basketball, to coaching. You know, he's always doing
Mm-hmm.
something, and that's me. Same as with Shaq, man. So those, to answer your question, those two people outside of my grandfather would be people that I kind of look up to and I admire for the type of work and the body of work that they've done.
That's what's up, man. Once again, congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching, we've got the one and only Lavish T. Williams with us. Recently won the seat for police commissioner in Detroit. And so let's make some noise for him on that. You said a word, and it was relatable. Um, so you're in a place now where you being relatable is going to be extremely important.
Right.
Now, I don't know a whole lot about the responsibilities of a police commissioner. However, if I were to take a guess at it, I would simply say you are the mediator, the go-between, the advocate for citizens as it relates to police matters. Is that correct of some sort?
Yeah, of some sort, absolutely. So police commissioner is civilian oversight of the police department.
Okay.
I know I get a lot of people when they hear the word police and commissioner, they say, "Oh man, this guy's trying to be the police. He's trying to be a cop. Oh man, he's switching sides." But no, police commissioner is simply civilian oversight. Anybody that's qualified can actually, you know, go down there, run an election to be a police commissioner. And the job of the police commissioner is simply this: um, partially a liaison between the public and the police department. The job details entails policy changes or revisions when police officers are in trouble, you know, is brought in front of the board, and
Hmm.
you know, we put recommendations in for termination or suspensions with pay or without pay, when it comes down to things that might violate the public's trust, amendments and things of that nature. You know, we take a vote on that. We take a vote and say, hey, is it worth facial recognition? I don't know if, you know, a lot of cities are using facial recognitions for crime, but you know, we vote on that to say, hey, is this violating people's rights, privacy? Is it worth the money when you have like these license plate readers? Is it beneficial? What's the number, the stats, as far as um, fighting crime? Is it working, or is it a waste of money? We have in Detroit, we have green lights. I don't know if other cities have different color lights, but the green lights are at like high crime area locations. They're being monitored by security, police security. The police department are monitoring high crime areas. In Detroit, a lot of times they're at a lot of the party stores and gas stations because a lot of crime, robbery, shootings happens there. So what it is that they use that footage and information to get a police officer over there quickly and quicker, and at the same time, if they can't get over there to catch the crime while it's happening, they use that footage and information to try to fight the crime. So we sit on the board to say, hey, is it doing this job? Is it really helping? Is it really fighting crime? um, does the money spent on this make sense? It's a lot of different things that go in on the board with the different commissioners that's on there. It is not a anti-police thing. We're anti-police, but we want to make sure the police department is doing what they're doing, and the public can
Absolutely.
trust them.
How difficult do you think that job is going to be for you?
Right now, I feel like it's going to be challenging, man. I feel like the job itself will be easy once I get into that seat. I feel like it's going to be challenging because, for one, for me, I only can speak on me. I didn't have the cleanest background. I don't
Okay.
hide that though. I just show that people change, life changes, people grow, people go in different directions. And I use that to teach and tell people, hey, if I can do it, you can too. Sky's the limit. Just go at it. Another challenge for me is that, once you become a public official,
Mm-hmm.
you're pretty much public property.
Mm,
Everything is public. Your life is, public. Um, you become a hashtag name. So if I was to do anything, my name is flagged. It's popped up. I mean, I might go out of town, and somebody wants to see what Lavish is doing. Oh yeah, we got this information. Lavish T. Williams, he went to Miami for the weekend. It's
mm-hmm.
almost like that celebrity status just on a public official level. So having to deal with being in the public eye, that's going to be challenging because there's a lot of things that I like to do. I like to podcast. I like to talk trash. I like to talk stuff. But then you have people that will take your words and twist them and flip them and put it out there to the public. And the public is so judgmental on a
Mm-hmm.
lot of different things. So it's going to be kind of challenging to find that equal balance of, hey, I'm being me and being myself, being real to myself, but still at the same time being professional to those that might not understand you and how you are and how you're raised. Because you got some people that know retro. Oh, that's retro, man. Don't pay them no man. That's just retro being retro. But then you
Mm-hmm.
got someone else that don't know you that look at you and might say, oh my gosh, that guy is something else. So I think that's going to be a challenge within itself right there. I know the police commissioners, they get a lot of scrutiny because
Mm-hmm.
somebody's going to be mad. Um, a lot of people think that our job, and I'm learning this myself as I'm transitioning into this position.
Mm-hmm.
Um, our job is not to talk about the criminal side of the police department. It's to talk about the policy side. And I had to learn this myself. I thought it was, hey, the police did this and this was wrong, but it's not that. Is did they violate policy in the process? So that's going to be kind of hard to really
Yeah.
um, give to the public because they're not going to want
Yeah.
to hear that part. They're
Right.
going to want to hear the police, they jumped out and they did XYZ. And the commissioner's job is to really speak on the policy side. Did they follow policy? You know,
Mm, yeah, yeah, yeah.
just
So
like
I
when
can
it came,
imagine that's where a lot of the disconnect comes in place
yeah,
because, they're going to be looking because the streets know your name, so they're expecting one thing from the lavish that they know,
correct.
but they're not understanding policy, that side of things. your hands may be tied with certain things.
Right. Absolutely. You know, I'm getting calls right now. The police, they raided my house, or, you know, the police, they took this and they took that. So when they hear the police commissioner's job is oversight, the liaison between the public and the police department, they think everything. But when you
Hmm.
go to like the city charter and you look at the rules and how things are, it's simply just policy. You know,
Mm,
policy. When Retro got pulled over by the police, why did they ask him to get out the car for a traffic stop?
hmm.
That's not policy.
Right,
You know,
right,
so
right.
you know that's where it's like the slippery slope from the public to the,
Hmm.
you know, from the commissioners to the public, because they don't want to hear the policy side. They want to hear, well, this altercation happened and what are you going to do about it? But
Yeah.
the criminal side of things, that goes to internal affairs. When you
Mm,
break down the science, it's going to be very challenging to get a community that might be enraged to understand the
right.
protocol. That's where I feel is going to be the most challenging thing. And a lot of the commissioners, they're going to face a lot of scrutiny on that, because they're going to feel, the public is going to feel like the police commissioners are helping protect the police, and that's
I
just
think
not the case.
I think this is very important conversation that needs to be had a little bit more frequently. Um, so you've got policies in place that in some situations could protect um, shady behavior.
Correct.
Um, how do we change these policies?
You know, the thing about that is, man, it's us being more involved,
Okay.
because you can change anything, man. You just got to be
Hmm.
willing to have people that's going to stand there and be a voice and have backing to back you. You know, I
Hmm.
know as many times that we have people, man, they say, hey, you know, we want to do this and we're going to go in here and we're going to do that. And when it's time to do it, they're not there. You're facing this by yourself. So with numbers, you can get things done. You know, with the community backing you, you're going to be heard. But a lot of times people don't want to speak up, and that becomes a problem.
Here's another problem, in my opinion, Lavish. Sometimes, unfortunately, we have leaders that want to fight more than they want to win. So they'll want to incite riotous behavior, but not really offer solutions to fix things that need to be fixed. So if we don't like the way certain thing played out and went down, but yet still policy supports it, then the real flex is not going down there and getting that police officer fired. The real flex is getting down there and changing the policies to protect us better.
Correct. That I mean, and that's it. Now, on the flip side of, you know, outside of the policies, when you see an officer use force,
Hmm.
well, it still goes back to policy, but was it called for? Now you can
Hmm.
sit back and you can say, hey man, you know, that was not called for, that was excessive. This officer, you know, used his power and authority, blah, blah, blah. And you can recommendate him to be suspended without pay, things to that nature. And I'm still learning everything, because it's a lot
Hmm.
of stuff outside of the surface that I'm learning. And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, I can
I'm
only
learning
imagine.
and I'm saying, "Oh, wow, this is way deeper than what I thought." Like,
Hmm.
wow. Listen, I got I got this book right here, man. This book right here. This is my orientation book, man. And I mean, it got all these different pages of, you know, different things inside of it, man. And
Hmm.
it's, you know, it's telling me about all kinds of policies, charters, and um it's a lot of reading, man. This job really consists of a lot of reading, a lot of reading. And then when you break down the chart, it's an important job. I don't know if you can see it, but the police commissioner, I'm gonna put this up. The police commissioner, where is he at? This is the police commissioner spot right here.
Okay.
This is the mayor spot right here. And when you drop down, now you're looking at the police chief. So
Mm.
you the police commissioners, we're up here with the mayor. We're in line with the mayor and then the police chief. So we play an important role when it comes down to this stuff
Yeah.
um with the police department. But again, it's not a police position, it's civilian
Hmm.
oversight. And the
Mhm.
job is to make sure that the police are in line with what they're supposed to do policy wise and not taking advantage of people. And people also got to be accountable for the actions that they do as well, because a lot of times people embark things on themselves.
That is true.
No
That is
one wants to
true.
talk about that part though.
That's true. That's true. We got to hold ourselves accountable if we want to hold them accountable.
Correct.
Couple questions for you, Lavish. I got all morning, so you let me know when your time is up. But and I can talk for days because this is a real good topic here. You mentioned earlier, you have a past. Is your past going to prove to be an asset or a liability as you move forward in this position?
You know what the crazy part about it is? I don't know how to even answer that question.
Okay.
My past, I never covered my past up, but I never talked about it and bragged about it.
Hmm.
A lot of people, they're good for bragging about it because it just is great for conversation to whoever
Hmm.
they're entertaining. I just
Hmm.
never talked about it, but I never hid from it either. I will share and talk about it because I just will. It's not something that's hidden. I just don't want to glorify it. Since
Hmm.
running for this office, and like I say, everything is public, man. I won the election November 4th of this year. And before the end of the month, I got people pulling up my court documents, my
Hmm.
charges that I had 20 years ago, 15 years ago. And I'm
See,
like,
that's the key right there. How long ago?
20 years ago, 15 years ago.
Okay, so
Um,
15 years ago, 20 years ago. But since then, what have you been doing?
Man, since
Running
then, man,
car
I'm
washes, tow
running right.
trucks.
Yeah. So when they put that out there,
Hmm.
I didn't I didn't feel a way about them putting that on the internet.
Hmm.
I felt a way because I'm so used to being so private
Hmm.
that that's the challenging part
Yeah.
about doing something. And what happened, I had just went to court because I'm trying to get all this my record clear. So
Hmm.
they recently pulled, listen, they pulled my court record 3 days later, 3 days after my court date.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God, dog. I mean, I call my lawyer because I'm like, hey man, what's up with this? He like, listen, it's part of the game, man. It's public
Part of the
record.
game.
Anybody can go in there and they can pull your record out. And this is where he's sharing as well. Once
Hmm.
you step into this game over here, your name gets flagged. If you take the president or the mayor of a city and they do something where it requires their name somewhere, it's someone constantly watching their name to pull up a
Hmm.
story, to pull up something. So um I don't
I,
I
I,
don't I don't
I,
trip on it.
I just asked that for conversation right now. Here's my take on it. I see it as being more of an asset than a liability.
I do too.
Uh, you have the experience, but you've also had the success. So it's not like you have these charges 20 months ago. We're talking
Right.
20 years. You see what I'm saying? So obviously you have made the necessary changes and you've continued in that direction. And that's what these young men need to see. We talk about the criminal side of what the police do, the policy side. But regardless of what, when our people are done wrong by the police, a lot of times I think it's strategic and intentional. Okay. Because if you put your foot on a man's neck while he's down, he's going to do everything within his power to get that foot off of his neck.
Right.
At least
Right.
you would think. And then now they can spin that. And because they always want to say, stop resisting. I mean, dude is trying to breathe, he's not resisting. But anyway, the point is, our young men need to be encouraged and they need to see a living model of the change that can actually take place in our lives and we can go on to greatness. So I think
Absolutely.
it can be used for an asset for you.
Yeah, and that's what I do, man. Like I have so many different people that have had a conversation with me to tell me what I don't understand
Hmm.
or what I don't get. And I laugh. I have to laugh.
Hmm.
I'm like, man, listen, man, you don't understand and you don't get it. because this is me right here. Blah, 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 blah. Wow. You don't look like it. Well, what does it supposed to look like?
What's it supposed to look like?
What is this supposed to look like? I've done these things. I've been in those situations. I didn't have people that's gonna take time out to tell me you can be cool without doing this. This is uncool.
Right.
It's cooler to be the smarter, wiser guy.
So when did you get that lesson? When did you learn that?
Man, I learned that stuff, man, out of the penitentiary, man.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
when I got there and outside of being incarcerated, and I didn't have a long time compared to a lot of the other people. And I'm sitting here
Hmm.
like, man, this I can't do this stuff, man. Everybody that I thought was living this life, they not living this life. I'm over here being this extra tough guy, and everybody else out here just being a regular guy. And man, what do I get out of this?
Hmm.
And then that's when I just figured out that everybody is not who they say they are. I'm trying to live up to the big homies, and the big homies is guiding me down the wrong way.
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
getting into trouble running to them like, hey, what do you do? And they like,
Let me,
you did what? Yeah, this
yeah.
is what you said I had to do.
Yeah.
And they never done it themselves. And I'm like, oh my gosh, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and again, you grow up and you see the cool guys out here pushing the nice cars with the girls, with the clothes. You see that and you like, man, I want to be like that. But then when you learn the science and the different things and you see the guy that's real quiet, you see the guy that doesn't have all the loud clothes on, when you get a chance to actually have a conversation with them and they
Mm.
tell you, like, yeah, I own I own 6 apartment complexes, I got 3 stores, I got this, and you looking at them and you like,
Right.
you got that. Yeah, I got all that, man. I don't be buying all that other stuff, man. That stuff's a waste of time. I wear simple, plain stuff. And I'm like, what? You do what? And they like, yeah, I got a lot of this stuff. I got, these kind of cars. I got that, or I had that. And you don't
Hmm.
really see these guys really out there unless it comes to a black tie event.
Mm.
That's when you see the guys. That's when you see them come out their bag.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're around other movers and shakers. And I said, I gotta have parts of that. I gotta have
Hmm.
parts of that, man. I gotta be able to shake hands. I gotta be able to be around these type of people because I'm learning so much from them. I don't want to be the smartest one in the room. Teach me, show me how can I
Right.
elevate. And not only that, you're more motivated. Your drive becomes stronger by being around other people. It's like going to the gym. If you work out and you're at home, you might not be motivated. You got so many distractions. But
Hmm.
if you're at the gym and everybody at the gym is working out and you're sitting still, you're going to look at yourself and say, I have no choice but to leave or to follow suit.
Right.
And that's life, man. That's life. You surround yourself with people that's moving, you got to move with them
You gotta move
or
with them.
move out the way.
You gotta move with them or move
That's
out the
it,
way. I
man.
agree. I agree. What do you need for January to be ready? Or do you feel you're already as ready as you can be? Or do you feel you need anything more as you move into this position?
You know what, man? Since it's so new to me, it's a new thing, and I can't reach out for information and this. I've been pretty much letting it be what it's going to be as it
Okay.
goes
Okay.
because I want it to be the first time experience. I don't want
Hmm.
you to tell me what it should be and what it's supposed to be, and that I have a certain set expectation. I
Hmm.
kind of want to just go with the flow of things so that it's new to me.
Okay.
It's fresh, it's exciting, versus John Doe telling me, well, you know what, Lavish, what they normally do, they're gonna do XYZ, so and so and so. And then the proper people come and tell me something that's already been told to me. I want to hear it the one time from the proper people so that
Mm.
so my reaction is natural and genuine. It's the first time, it's fresh. I want to go through everything and accept the newness of the unknown.
I respect that.
Yeah, so
I
that's
respect
that's
that.
that's where I've been because I have a lot of different people that have reached out to me, like, yeah, man, I want to take you around. I want to show you this. I want to let you know this and this, and that's cool.
Hmm.
I get it, but my mode, my whole mood and motivation has been based on just letting everything be fresh and new to me. Let me
Nice.
explore it the first time by myself.
Let me say this, man. I've watched your podcast even before I actually, got a chance to, kick it with you and things like that. And there was something about your podcast and your swag, the way you did what you did. It was genuine. It was authentic. Authentic. It was just something about it. And so I began to watch you and everything, and then we got to kick it and stuff like that. Stepping into this position, what happens to the Lavish T. Williams show?
Man, you know what? I told myself in order to be true to myself,
Hmm.
everything that I've been doing, everything that got people to notice me, to respect me, to follow me, I'm not gonna let the position change me,
Okay.
but I will move accordingly.
Hmm.
Accordingly in the way that an elected official should move.
Hmm.
So when I do my biker podcast, because I know people might look at it and I'm aware of those people that'll take a piece here and a piece here and a piece there and try to merge it together as one.
Hmm.
Um, so instead of me just not doing it, I'm just gonna move a little different, man. I might have more open dialogue versus
Hmm.
just the me wilding out, enjoying myself over the
Hmm.
top. Because
Does that go ahead?
huh? No,
Go ahead.
because people watched me for a reason,
Right.
and that's what they enjoy watching. They want to
Hmm.
see that kind of content. They want to see Lavish talk about this. So the way that I word certain things, I might just have to be a little bit more professional with
Hmm.
certain
It's not,
things while still
ain't nothing
being
wrong with that.
myself.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't think I'm going to take away, and I think I'm going to work up to um them having to accept me for who I am. I know the first time I ran, people said, "Well, you know what, Lavish, you're gonna have to do this. You're gonna have to, do that, and try to rebrand yourself, and be this extra polished person." And I told him, man, listen, man, I'm gonna be me."
Hmm.
And it's not being me to the point of saying, "Hey, man, I want to do what I want to do because this is just who I am." They gotta accept it. It's knowing how to play the game to get in that position, and then when you get in that position, you change the game. You change.
Hmm.
You become the trendsetter where
That
you
part.
can change it to meet your dynamic.
Hmm.
You know, people have to grow with it. It's just like a rapper, man. You take what's one of your best artists? It doesn't matter. Your artist. What's an artist that that you care for? One of your best artists.
I don't know. I guess I would say Kara is one, especially back in the day.
Okay, let's use KRS-One. You in the rest of the world know who KRS-One is today.
Hmm.
But before he was somebody that we publicly know, he was somebody working his way up
Hmm.
and no one knew him.
But then
So
you take it a
whatever
step further.
he
The
and he
KRS, the KRS one that I used to rock with, I rock with him for a specific reason at that particular time in my life. But he has evolved, and that's what I wanted to say earlier. We
right,
can evolve without changing.
correct. And that's it. You might not be that person that the room want to listen to.
Hmm.
But as you're working and you're growing, the room has no choice but to listen.
Hmm.
And then once you got their attention, you create your own fad. You create your own flow of how you do things and everybody else follows. You take a rapper today, they say, "Hey, it's cool to wear your hat to the back with a chain on," and everybody does it. But that
Hmm.
same rapper said it 10 years ago, nobody was listening.
Right.
I'm equating that to I'm putting myself in a position where people that didn't understand or people that wouldn't rock with the way that I'm moving at that particular time, as they watch my growth, now
Hmm.
they see and they say, okay, well, Lavish said this is cool. Just like with the streets now. Hearing them say Lavish is running for police commissioner. Oh man, we ain't rocking with him no more. He's turning into the cops. He's about to be
Yeah.
the police.
That's a
But
whole nother
as I
conversation. Yeah.
but then as I keep growing, now I got their attention. Hey man, you know that police officer that was harassing you, do you know that you can go down there and file a complaint?
Hmm.
They have to hear it for real. Well, what I gotta do? Man, you can go online, you can go to the station, you can go down to headquarters. You don't have to accept this. You can file a complaint on this officer. Now they're listening
Hmm.
because now you're creating that trend. So I'm trying to create the trend to say, hey man, put them guns down. What you shooting for, man? If you that mad at them, go the other way.
Hmm.
Why
Hmm.
throw your life away? You
Right.
know what I'm saying? It's okay to turn your back, turn your cheek to live another day without having to prove something
Can I jump in
and
right
feeling
there?
like a punk. Yeah, go ahead.
I've got this saying, because people always say I'm keeping it real. But what happens when keeping it real means keeping it real stupid?
Right?
Sometimes we try to stay true to a persona, a reputation, um, when in all actuality, that's the very thing that's killing us. Sometimes in life, and I'd like to hear your input on this. Sometimes in life, I found out that you got to turn away from certain associations. It doesn't mean that you have switched. It doesn't mean that you a sellout. It just means that you are keeping it real, just not real stupid. These
Right.
Negroes don't want nothing no better for themselves. They're gonna be right there on that same corner 30 years from now.
Absolutely. No, that's right, man. And then you know what? You have you have to know I have to get out of this environment with these people, man, especially if I
Hmm.
want to do better. But then you also have, and it's not too often, but within that same circle that you're trying to get away from, there might be that one guy, for at least for me, that no, man, this ain't for you, man. You could do
Right,
so much better, man. This I want to be here, man. This is my life, man. You know,
right.
you smarter than this, man. You got a better vision, man. We don't want you over here doing this. I've had that happen to me so many different times, man. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
man, what is it, man? So I think
Those
that's been my gift.
those are the OGs that I grew up with. And when I say OG, there's a few. Anyway, those OGs are the ones I categorize as offering guidance. You got your OGs, original gangsters, your OGs offer guidance. Then you got your OGs that's just old and goofy. And then
Yeah.
you got your other OGs, OG, they were there, but they didn't even know what was going on. But we'll leave that alone.
Hmm.
But those OGs that offered guidance was the ones that saw a spark in you. Those were the ones that saw the potential in you, and they protected you from the foolishness. They were the ones that made you go in the house when certain something was getting ready to go down. They was the ones that made you get away because you don't want to be here when this go down.
Yeah, and I had that, man. I remember it was times, man, that I would sit there. They like, yeah, man, we meeting up at 11 o'clock, and I'm like, all right, bet, man, I'm there. 11 o'clock come around, man. They left at 10 o'clock. And they
Yeah,
like, man, we ain't, man, we ain't want you here, man. This ain't for you, man.
yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And at the time, I ain't get it, man, until I started losing these homies, man, to the penitentiary system or to losing them their lives. And I'm like, man,
Hmm.
God, dog, man, I can't believe this, man. I'm glad I guess it worked out, man. And then, hearing different stories because sometimes, not often, only speaking for myself, I had other people tell me about conversations that someone had about me.
Hmm.
Like, man, you know that guy, man. You know he rocked with you, man. He told me that that you just wasn't cut out for this, man. He ain't want to put you in this. He ain't want to screw your life up, man. That's why he don't
Hmm.
never have you around. I'm like, what? He
Yeah.
said that? Like, yeah, man. That's why you don't think you ain't never around. He had you around, but why you ain't never around when something really happened? You either just left or you just pulled up afterwards.
Mm.
And I'm like, what?
Lavish, I think that you're going to do well. And I think you would do well in anything that you set out to do. You just seem to be that kind of guy, very, mindful, very resilient, so on and so forth.
Right.
You said earlier that you want this to just happen so that you can experience the newness. And what I heard was, you want it to happen organically. You don't want to really take anybody else's perception per se and make it yours. It may be kind of early to answer this question, but do you think you'll run for a second term?
I think that I've thought about that already. I think I will because I think that I want to elevate.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to jump in. I won this term for 4 years,
Mm-hmm.
and then 4 years, I think I'm good enough to jump into another position. I think I want to use this term to build my blueprint, my
Okay.
rough draft.
Okay.
This is I'm gonna look at this. This is the learning years moving
Mm-hmm.
forward for the next 4 years. This is to figure out how city government really works behind the scenes. Um, then I figure the next term I'll get a gauge on how the people accepted my work
Mm-hmm.
and see, hey, they voted for me again. So that means they know the name. They watched
Mm-hmm.
what I'm doing. They're satisfied with it. Now let me go ahead and try to transition into another elected position.
Okay.
Let me see where I can go. Let me gauge and test the water so that I'm not
Mm-hmm.
just jumping out here as this guy. Oh yeah, he did 4 years here. He think he's about to just jump up here. No, let me learn so that I can get involved with what's going on over there so they can see, hey, Commissioner Williams is over here. We noticed that he's really involved in this, blah, blah, blah. And I can see him running for that position. And let me get some guidance from some people over there so that I can already get the support and then elevate up.
Do you have any mentees in mind? You have any young brothers, young girls around you that you can see you mentoring as you go through this process?
I don't. I
Find
don't.
some.
I don't.
Find
I
some.
I definitely want to because I want to help people see something different than what I
Mm-hmm.
saw at an earlier age to help build them up so that one, they
Yep.
don't make the same mistakes. Two, so
Mm-hmm.
they can be the better, brighter tomorrow, our future.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I feel like once I get in there, the opportunities and exposure, I will have more of it.
Yeah.
So then it'd be easier for me to pull someone or someone that wants to be taught, someone that wants to be mentored. I do mentor people with other organizations, but I feel like once I get in there, I'm gonna build the trust of the community, and I will have some of these organizations or parents reach out to me, and I'm gonna be a guidance,
Mm-hmm.
a helping tool for those individuals. I do
Good.
plan to make myself available for the youth, the up and coming. I think that I owe it to them. We owe
Mm-hmm.
it to them
We do.
to do that. When they
You
see
know,
that someone cares, it makes a difference, man. It
it
makes
makes
a
a
difference.
difference.
It's
Not
just
only,
like those, huh?
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it's just like those sports coaches, man. When they them high school coaches,
Mhm.
do you see the relationship and respect from one of those team players and the coaches? I mean, you can sit back with those basketball players, those high school, college football players, and they sit back and it can be 20 years later and the level of respect that they still carry for that coach.
Yeah.
They talk about that coach.
Yep.
They talk about that coach as if that coach was their father,
Yeah.
like their second father, man. They like,
Yeah.
man, I remember when coach so and so had us doing this, man. Coach was always there. And the way that when, I've seen it when coaches pass, man, those students from before, man, they find out about it and they like, man, we got to go to coach funeral, man. We got to
Mm,
go there. The respect that they have for those coaches, man, it's the same respect, the same feel, the same vibe that I want to instill and put into the youth where they feel like, hey, man, Lavish actually cared. He kicked it with us. He told us
mm-hmm.
stuff we didn't want to hear. He told us the real about what it is. He
Yeah.
took us there and showed us the reality of stuff. Man, I'm thinking back of things that he said that I didn't understand, and it's all making sense to me. I want to be that to the youth, to some of these younger people. I do, man, because I don't want to keep hearing stories
Tell
of
me.
homicides and killings and senseless crimes that's going on in these young people. They just sitting in court. You see it on TV. They straight plain faced, getting passed out 60, 70 years, life in prison with no emotion,
Yeah.
throwing their lives away, man. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to see that. If I
Mm-hmm.
can be a part of change, then I want to be that part of change, man.
Hey man, look here, man. You got our prayers and our support, brother. So you just keep on being great. Do your thing, man. And I'm gonna follow your story, man. Continue to, just kind of monitor your success and everything. And when I say success, I mean that because even when there's failure, like you said earlier, your first run looked like a failure, but it actually gave to your success. So
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
failure ceases to be failure when we learn from it.
And that's it, man. You know, you feel you got to just keep doing it, man.
Just keep doing it.
I don't want to quit, man. I'm not a quitter. You know, I challenge myself. You know, I'm not in competition with anybody else but myself. You
Yeah,
know, and that's it. I be so zoned out. I don't keep up with what everybody else do. It's just lavish.
yeah,
What am I gonna do?
yeah.
Man, I
Yeah.
lost. I got to do it again.
So
I'm not
so
about
what's
to let this person beat me.
that part? So what's the date? January what when you take office?
So per charter, January 1st.
Okay, okay,
January
okay.
1st. Um, they're doing all our paperwork. We're getting everything together now because what they want to do come 12 o'clock midnight, January 1st, New Year's Day, they
Mm-hmm.
already want to have the system updated where all of the new electees that came
Mm-hmm.
in, information and everything is already up on the website.
Gotcha.
Information is already out there. That's what their goal is. So a lot of stuff I've been doing, I've been getting the email set up, my city picture, my bios, and all that kind of stuff, man. They want to have all that. They got a public ceremony that's going on the week of the 5th, I believe. The week of the 5th. I'm not sure the exact date. But it's gonna be downtown at our city hall, and
Okay.
they're going to be all the different elected officials that won the election. They're going to be doing a ceremony for them, and I'll be there partaking in that for the first time. So
Nice.
that's going to be really exciting for me to do. So I'm definitely ready for that, man. I'm just ready for everything, man. I'm ready for everything. So January 1st, I'll be there. My first public meeting that I'll have will be January 8th, with the public, and is going to be in a community meeting in my district. So I'm
Okay. Okay.
starting a new year off with the first meeting being in my district that I
January
serve.
8th.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep.
And
So
so
I'm
this meeting
excited.
will be addressing some issues that they have, or just be like an introductory meeting, or what is this meeting pertaining to?
It's I can't give you that information right now because
Okay. Okay.
I'm
Okay.
going along with the flow, but I know every month. So let me say this: every week there's a meeting. There's a
Okay.
commissioners meeting every week, but once a month they have the meeting out in the public in the community
Okay.
in each district. Um, this upcoming January, the first meeting of the year, just so happens to be in my district, the district that I reside in. So
Okay.
I can't tell you because the itinerary changes, depending on what they need to talk about. But
Mm-hmm.
it'll be a place for public comments, and I'm not sure what the agenda for the meeting will be. We'll get that at a later date before the meeting.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
so I'm just excited about that, man.
All right. Well, look here, man. What do you want to say to Detroit?
Man, Detroit, man, the place I love, man. Listen, man, if I got some of the Detroiters on here, man, if you know who I am, if you don't, man, I just want to say Detroit, man. I thank y'all for y'all support, man. In any way that y'all supported me, man. If it's coming down to my car wash, my bike nights, my car shows, my biker bash, supporting me with this election, supporting me with my business as far as towing, man. I appreciate all that, man. Detroit, that's my home. Detroit made me who I am, man. I seen the good and the bad. I'm Detroit East and West. I went to school on
Oh,
both sides, man. Yeah, man, Pearson Avenue, man. That's the neighborhood I grew up in, still in, man. So Detroit, man. I appreciate everything y'all done as far as the way that y'all molded me. The environment that I grew up in, it helped shape me to move in other cities and other places. You go somewhere, you from Detroit, you say, "What up, Joe?" And you must be from Detroit. Yeah, how you know? Yeah, when I heard "What up, Joe," I said
yeah,
he must
yeah.
be from Detroit, man. Detroit. You got the Cartier buffs glasses. I'm sure you heard of them. You see those, you automatically identify them with Detroit. You got other cities
Okay,
now,
okay.
making them more popular, but that's one of the signatures that Detroiters have. They got a pair of those Cartier wood glasses or Buffalo wood horn glasses. So Detroit, we stand out, but I just love my city, man.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Hey, Lavish, man, we wish you the best, man. Let us know if there's anything we can do. Send me the info for the 5th and the 8th. Let me see if I can ponder a few things, and if I can make it happen, man, I'm gonna come up there and support you, bro.
Oh man, I appreciate that, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah,
that. It's
yeah.
cold up here though, but
Hey, look
I
here, man. It ain't nothing
appreciate
but a chicken wag, you know. Yeah, I know how the North be treating you. You know what I
that.
mean?
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. So, all right, man. We won't let you go ahead and get up out of here, man. And enjoy your day, man. Thanks for having me on here, man. This was
Yeah.
unexpected, man. But you know what? It's great natural conversations, man. That
Hold on one
uh,
second, boss man. Let me see. All right, my phone died. I didn't realize I was low on battery, so it's a good thing I had the iPad going just for the backup. You were saying though?
Okay, yeah, no, I'm saying, man, that this was unexpected, this was unplanned, man.
It was,
To
yeah.
even join you, man, but it's a genuine, natural, conversation that we have, man, and that's what it's about, man. Just the
Yep.
authenticity of being yourself, man. Being real, man, and knowing who you are. That's it, man. So I appreciate you, man. I'm glad that I had the time, that I wasn't doing too much of anything at the moment to even get up on here, man, and kick it with you or whatnot.
We're gonna have to do it again, man. We give you a little time in office, see how things going, and we get you back on and get a whole recap of how things is going once you get
Yes,
up
sir.
in there.
Yes, sir. I'm with it. I'm with it,
All
man.
right,
So, all right, man. Thanks, man. You take care, man. Your viewers out there, man. Y'all take care. Thanks for having me.
Lavish, be good, boss man.
Yes, sir.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, there you have it. The one and only Mr. Lavish T. Williams in the building. Unexpected, unplanned, uh, but it was genuine and great conversation as always. And we wish him well, man, and his journey. And I think he's gonna do just fine. I think he's gonna do just fine. So make sure you guys show him some love over there on his page. Follow him, and most importantly, keep him in your prayers. So with that said and done, those of you who know the words of prayer, how about you guys join me real quick? Let me see something here. Um, we want to say a word of prayer for him real quick. Let me see here. I wish I was, that ain't what I want. I wish I was in the studio so I could have some prayer music in the background. But nevertheless, Father, we thank you for grace, mercy, love, and compassion. We thank you because we know that you are God and you are God alone, and beside you there is no other. We thank you, Lord God, for everything that's been said and done on today here on the Retro Philosophy Show. We thank you for our pop up guest, Mr. Lavish T. Williams. And God, we intentionally cover him right now in prayer. We ask God that you would order his footsteps, direct his path. We ask, Lord God, that you would go before him, make rough places smooth and crooked places straight. We ask, God, that your hand of protection will be upon him, not just physically and literally, but also emotionally as well. We ask, God, that you would even disrupt the plan of the enemy because we know he comes to steal, to kill, and to destroy. He comes to divide and conquer. And so, God, I pray that the support that is necessary for Mr. Lavish T. Williams will show up in a strong way and that it will be evident that your hand is upon him. And wherever it is that you shall guide him, I pray that you would give him the wisdom, the strength, and the wherewithal to walk in that direction and to fulfill the mission, the mandate, the plan that you have laid out before him. God, we thank you in advance for your grace and mercy. We thank you in advance, Lord God, for just keeping his mind stayed on you. Speak to him, Lord God, even in the midnight hour when he's perplexed and when he's confused about which way to go. We pray, God, that you will be his guiding light, that you will be the one that holds his heart in the midst of your hand. Father, we thank you and we give you all praise, glory, and honor in Jesus' name. Amen. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you was with me in the beginning, you know we were talking about is this thing broken? And the reality is it's not necessarily broken. It may just need to be adjusted, or it may be user error. And so there are a lot of people, even in this situation, who have been in positions and they have been using those positions for wrong reasons.
to get, for ill gain or whatever the case may be. But the scripture speaks of a remnant that shall rise and reign. And I believe that we are in that season where the remnant is rising and they shall reign. And there is no record, there is no, you know, what do you call it? That can keep you from doing what God is calling you to do. And so we're just grateful on today for everything that the Lord is doing. So I'm gonna get out of here because we've been on here all actually way too long, but it was definitely necessary. So again, we say thank you to Lavish for hopping on here, chit chatting with us, man, and we will have him back on the Retro Philosophy Show. And we're also going to see if we can get up there to support him as he takes office, because this is how strongly I feel about young Black men in particular, moving beyond hurdles, moving beyond stereotypes, and moving beyond mistakes that we have once made in life, because the God that we serve is a forgiving God, right? And so I'm proud of him, respect him, and I will support him as God leads. So anyway, with that said and done, man, we're gonna get out of here, man. We ain't gonna hold you. Thank you for pressing play, being a part of the Retro Philosophy Show. I do want to invite you. We got a few things coming up. Case in point, we've got the What's Love Game Night Edition. Marriage Enrichment Session number 4. We have been having ourselves a ball. Sessions 1, 2, and 3, and we expect that session number 4 will be more of the same. These marriage enrichment sessions that we have been having are sponsored by What's Love. It's a group we have on Facebook. My wife and I have been doing this for a few years well now, and we've just been a little bit more intentional in recent months as it pertains to the marriage enrichment sessions. We believe in marriage, we believe in love, we believe in all that stuff. No one has all the answers, but everybody has something that they can offer and add. So we get together once a month and we go over different things to help enrich our marriages. And so this particular session will be what we are calling the game night edition. So if you and your spouse would like to come and be a part of it, please scan the RSV, or I should say, scan the QR code to RSVP. That way we can have a better idea of numbers, so that we can, provide as necessary and set things up so that things will flow the way it needs to flow. So again, if you would like to be a part of this marriage enrichment session, scan the QR code, hit my inbox, hit my cell phone, let me know, and that way we can accommodate for you accordingly, you and your spouse or your significant other. Once you scan the QR code, it will have a few questions, and these questions are just so that we can accommodate you more effectively. All right. What's love, ladies and gentlemen? Game night edition. Also, we can't forget about the not Mission 448, Kingdom Alignment Motorcycle Ministry, the Genesis ride going down January the 1st, kickstands up at 10 a.m., leaving from Upper Praise Ministries, aka the Alignment Center, 442 Westmore Ave in Mooresville, North Carolina. If you need any more information, the number at the bottom of your screen is the number you need to call. This ride is a ride we do every year on the 1st of January. Normally takes about an hour. We end at a local restaurant where we will do a recap of the year and then cast vision for the new year. So we certainly would like for you to come and be a part of this. Join us as we give the first ride of the year to the Lord, riding in his glory. It's your boy Retro, man. God bless you and heaven smile on you.
Retro, hashtag press play. It's the Retro Philosophy Show. Let's go!
Kingdom alignment on assignment for the king. Hope you're ready for the show.
Oh, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in.
Let's go for a ride.
Let's go for a ride.
Got my specs on my side. She's my forever bride that keeps hope alive.
I'ma rev it up, so hold on tight.
We about to level up, catch us on the turnpike. From city to city, state to state, coast to coast, man, make no mistake.
We are conquerors,
More than conquerors.
collecting miles and smiles.
Been doing this thing for a while, and all the while winning souls to God. We singing praises to our King. On the hog or on the wing, His praise we always sing, because this is the day that He has made.
Kingdom alignment on assignment for the king. Hope you're ready for the show.
Oh, thanks thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in.
Let's go for a ride.
Let's go for a ride.
Got my specs on my side. She's my forever bride that keeps hope alive.
I'ma rev it up, so hold on tight.
We bout to level up, catch us on the turnpike. From city to city, state to state, coast to coast, man, make no mistake.
We are conquerors,
More than conquerors.
collecting miles and smiles.
Been doing this thing for a while, and all the while winning souls to God. We singing praises to our King. On the hog or on the wing, His praise we always sing, because this is the day that He has made.